hope everyone had a chance to practice number 8 and number 9. Like I've said from the beginning, you learn the best from making mistakes. So you always want to try some on your own before you take a test. Because imagine that if you wait to take a test is the first time you've done problems on your own without someone helping you, without copying them from a video. Well, that's going to be a little bit scary if it's your first time doing problems on your own. That's why you want to practice as you go. And then that way, it's not scary. You're like, oh, I've been doing these the whole semester. I know how to do these. Okay, on this first one, I think I'm going to write it big since we have plenty of room here. I equals E over capital R plus little r. So first thing we want to do is get rid of the fraction. So to get rid of the fraction, remember we multiply both sides by the common denominator. Well, there's only one denominator, so it's pretty easy to figure out what the common denominator is. It's that one denominator. So I multiply the left side by big R plus little r, and I multiply the right side by big R plus little r. So on the right side, r divided by r is 1. On the left side, we're going to have to do like they did on the example problem on the last page, is distribute. So I have I big R plus I little r equals E. And this is usually the step when I look back up, I've gotten rid of the fractions, and I would do that step no matter what the problem said to solve for, but now my next moves are based on what I'm solving for. It says solve for R. So this is the term I want to get alone. So this is when you jump into opposite mode. Oh, if I want to get this all alone on the left side, I have to do the opposite to move everything else over. So the opposite of add IR would be subtract big I, big R. And again, don't put it underneath the E. It's not a like term. It's just going to get subtracted from it. So we're getting closer. Big I, little r equals E minus IR. So then I say, I need to get R alone. That is a multiplication. So I'm going to do the opposite. Divide. So my answer is going to be R equals E minus IR all over I. Pretty easy stuff, huh? You just have to pretend they're numbers and do the exact same thing you would with numbers. Multiply both sides to get rid of the fractions. Distribute. Cancel common factors. Do the opposite to get the desired letter alone. Okay, so if you haven't done 9, make sure you turn off the video and try it. And then I will check it with you. So this one is probably the most like the test of any of them. Closest, I would guess. That's why I want to make sure you try it on your own, because if you don't, waiting for the test to have it be your first time is not a great idea. So we have a B, and a C. I need to get rid of those. So my common denominator is write everything I see. So guess what? I see an A, I see a B, I see a C. I see an A, B, and a C, an A, B, and a C. And remember, if you've done it correctly, your parentheses will disappear. Not parentheses. Why am I saying parentheses? Sorry. Your fractions will disappear on the next step. So let's see if that happens. A divided by A is 1. So we get BC times 1, which is BC. Plus B divided by B is 1. I get 1 times AC, which is AC. Look at that. Fractions are gone. Woohoo! now we just have a nice, simple equation to solve. But what I notice, once again, is I'm solving for b, and there's two b's. I can't have two b's. I need to solve for a single b. So I can't say, oh, I'm going to divide everything by a, and I'll solve for that b. You don't get a pick. So your goal is to get all the b's on one side. So again, I'm going to flip it over. Since I have a term alone here that has a b in it, I'm going to bring everything over to that side. So once you get it flipped over, you say, okay, if I'm solving for b, all my b's, just like when you're solving for x, all your x's have to be on the left. All my b's need to be on the left. So I do the opposite to move that left. Okay, I'm going to bring this up here so we have a little more room. So then I have AB minus BC equals AC. So AB minus BC equals AC. So then I say, I'm trying to get B alone. So I have two B's. Oh yeah, they're a GCF. I can pull it out as a single B because when I'm solving for B, I want one B. And the way to turn that into one B is by pulling it out as a GCF. Always going back to chapter 4, aren't we? So the B's cancel and I get A minus the B's cancel and I get C. Ooh, we're getting close, one step away. So remember, try to get B alone, so we do the opposite. So the opposite of times A minus C would be divide by A minus C. Divide by A minus C. And so there is my answer. B equals AC over A minus C. Done. Nice. So that's the one, like I said, closest to the test. Okay, that ends 5-5. We just have 5-6. The word problems left. Ooh, I can hardly wait. They'll be fun.